back to another episode of Kitchen Quickie. So, this is going to be a little bit of a bonus episode. I typically only like to do one or two of these a month, but I figured I'd throw this one in, mainly because it's Labor Day weekend. That's right, the summer's over. So you might be having one last hurrah this weekend, having the whole crew over for a barbecue. And what do most people like to barbecue? Hot dogs, hamburgers. Which there's nothing wrong with it as long as you're using good quality dogs and good quality burgers. But you know what? If you really want to further enhance your backyard cookout, it's all about the condiments. And I'm going to show you how to make probably one of the best and most versatile condiment you could think of. Dirty water onions. What are dirty water onions? No, relax. I'm not going to use dirty water to make them. Dirty water onions is kind of like a slang term. I grew up in New York City. I'm no stranger to those push cart hot dog vendors. We used to call them dirty water hot dogs. Because, well, you know, who knows where the fuck they got their water from. But when you went up to one of these push cart guys and you got a hot dog, right? Like a typical New York City hot dog, you got mustard on it. You don't put ketchup on a hot dog unless you're a serial killer or 4 years old, okay? You got a hot dog, you put mustard on it, and you either had like a choice between sauerkraut or the dirty water onions. You know, if you see them in the store, like I know Sabret makes them, they call them onions and sauce. It's not really, well, I mean, I guess it's a sauce, but we grew up calling it dirty water onions. My mother fucking loved them. So I'm going to show you how to make them. It's real simple. All you need is a couple ingredients. You need an onion. You need some ketchup. You need some, some good seasoning and a beer. And that's really it. So let's get at it. You want to get yourself a good sized Vidalia onion. You always want to use sweet onions when you do this because who wants the agita, right? I got my onion peeled and halved. And all you just want to do is just make some some slices like that. Okay, we're not going to dice this. We want to leave these in half moons. I mean, you could dice it like that. You can go down the side, but I like them a little bit long. So you just want to slice this onion up. Okay, you don't want it too thin. You don't want it too thick. You want it, just like a moderate. Okay, like about, like that. Nice and, because this is also going to cook down. We got our onion diced. I just used one onion. Obviously, if you got a bigger group of people, you may want to use some more onions, but it's just me. This should be just perfectly fine. I got my skillet getting hot here. Now, you want to go down with a little bit of, I'm using olive oil. It's regular olive oil, not extra virgin. You could use a neutral oil like vegetable oil if you like, but I kind of like the taste of olive oil with this. So just a little bit around the pan here. Nothing crazy, okay? You're going to see why in a minute. I'm also going to add a couple of tablespoons of butter to this, okay? Because butter and onions are good friends. Now when this butter starts foaming down a little bit, that's when I'm going to add my onions that we just sliced up. And that's it. That's really the only prep work is just the onions. So our butter's foaming up nice. And here we go. We're going to go down with our onions. Now, do not season them yet. The reason I don't want to season them is because I want them to caramelize a little bit, okay? So this is going to be a little bit of a patience thing. Okay, once the butter is dissolved, all right, you want to knock the heat down and just let these onions caramelize. If I salted them right now, the salt would pull the moisture out of the onions and sweat them, and it wouldn't caramelize. You wouldn't get that nice caramelization that we're looking for. Now, some people like to cheat when it comes to caramelizing onions and add brown sugar. Don't do that. That's a fucking no-no, okay? Just be patient with it, and they'll caramelize all on their own because onions have natural sugars to them. All right, so just going to lower the heat on this just to about a medium low, and just keep an eye on it, and this is going to reduce, and then I'll show you the rest of the magic. While my onions are caramelizing, let's talk about how we could apply this dirty water onion sauce. Okay, now typically, like I said, you put it on a hot dog. It's also good on a burger, bratwurst. Listen, you get a nice London broil, you slice it real thin, you put it on a nice toasted Italian bread, you put some of these dirty water onions on it, you're in heaven. But what I'm going to actually put it on tonight is not hot dogs, not burgers, not steak. About 2 weeks ago, I went out to Riverhead, to the Riverhead Polish Festival. I like to go every year. And I go to my favorite little Polish deli out there. And it's the second best kielbasa I've ever had. The best kielbasa comes from a Polish kielbasa shop out in upstate Pennsylvania, cold cracker region, Shenandoah, it's called Lennox. But I didn't feel like driving 6 fucking hours for Kielbasa. An hour and 20 minutes is enough. So while I was out there, I bought like 2 pounds of Kielbasa. Actually, no, 4 pounds of Kielbasa. I lied. 2 pounds of smoked, 2 pounds of fresh. The fresh is obviously unsmoked Kielbasa. That's not what we're using. I'm going to save that for a recipe for this fall. What I'm going to be putting this on is smoked Kielbasa. Yo, this is going to be lights out. Our onions are getting there. Right now they're in the saute phase. I want them just a little bit darker. Just like a little bit darker than that, okay? I don't want to go full caramelization on them. I want them to get to that point where they're just about caramelized. They're just about turning that golden color. And then we're going to start putting this together. Okay, my onions are just about where I want them. They're just beginning to caramelize. Like I said, I don't want them to go all the way brown yet. So here's where we season it. Good pinch of salt, okay? All right. Then we're going to add some black pepper. I'm using my favorite seasoning trio. Salt, pepper, and of course, you know what the other one is. A little Emerald's Essence. If you don't have any essence, like I said, you can look it up online how to make it, or you could use whatever seasoning blend you like. I like going the SP&E version method. So, oh man, you should smell this. Wow. Okay. So this is going to give it some nice kicked up flavor. All right. Just make sure you stir that in. Toast up your seasonings a little bit. Now, could you imagine just swimming around in some butter and onions and essence? I mean, this onion never thought it'd have it so good. Now we're going to deglaze the pan with America's favorite beer, a little Yingling. You could use whatever kind of beer you like. Typically, I like using a full strength beer, but I only had light, so it'll work. Just once around the horn here a little bit, okay? Just to pull those flavors off, okay? And just work that in. This is also going to reduce down, all right? Take a little sip for good measure. Salud. Okay? You want to turn the heat up a little bit, okay? To almost like a medium high. Just, you want to simmer some of this beer out, okay? Let it evaporate. Wow, this smells good. I mean, I think right here, you could put this on toast and it would be good. Now, ketchup. That's the base of this sauce, okay? Is ketchup. So, you can't be stingy on the ketchup. We're going to use probably a good cup, the 2 cups of ketchup in here. I should have just taken the fucking top of this off. Yeah, why fuck around, right? Let's just do this the right way. Okay. So like I said, about a cup and a half. Okay. That's our ketchup. Gonna add a little bit more than that. Just a little bit. All right. Now you want to work that in. And if you, okay. So we're just going to get this all worked in here. Now, this part's optional, but it makes a big difference. I'm going to use a couple of tablespoons of my homemade Holy Q sauce. Now, obviously you don't have this, so I would suggest you use your favorite barbecue sauce. You could skip it. It's not a traditional thing you would see in a push cart vendor's dirty water dogs, but I'm telling you, it makes a big difference, okay? Gonna add a little bit more beer to this just to thin this out just a touch, because this is also gonna reduce down a little bit. Okay, oh, wow. This smells amazing. Okay. Now, we're just gonna let this simmer on really low heat for about 15, 20 minutes, okay? Just so everything warms through, dissolves, gets happy with itself, and then we're gonna put this sandwich together and your minds are gonna be blown. While my onions are over here getting happy, make sure you keep an eye on them. Just keep stirring them, that way they don't burn, but you want to keep it on really low heat. Let's just talk about this beautiful kielbasa I got. Okay, check this out. This was a whole ring. I cut it in half. This is probably about a pound of kielbasa. Just look at the beautiful smoke on it. Oh my God, this is delicious. Now this is already cooked because it's smoked. Me, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna char it on the grill, heat it through, put a little snap on it, and then we're gonna put this in a hoagie bun and we're gonna dress it and it's gonna be lights out. I'm just gonna cut this in half. I scored it where I want the, here, just take a look at that. I mean, this is beautiful stuff, okay? That's where about the length of the bun that I'm using, so I wanna keep it about that length because you always wanna go bun end to end. All right, look at how beautiful these onions are looking. Now this is just on a slow simmer, so right at the end, this is my trick. You're gonna take about 2 tablespoons of butter, okay? And you're just gonna drop it in here and just let it melt. It's gonna give it a nice sheen, it's gonna bring this whole thing together. Just wanna let this melt slow in here. And it's gonna bring a nice sheen to it. And again, the flavor is just gonna be off the hook, okay? I mean, how can you go wrong with butter, right? Our onions are done. Look at the beautiful sheen on this. I mean, look at that. Come on. You could put that on a tire and it would taste good. And just look at this kielbasa. How beautiful it looks. Ma guarda come è bella. I don't know how to say that in Polish. But I think what I want to do is I want to take a little taste before I even put it in the sandwich because I'm sure this is going to be unfucking believable. Look at that. Look how juicy that is. Oh my God. I have a lot of that in my freezer. I'm going to do some wonderful things with it. Okay, so we're ready to assemble. I got a nice hoagie roll that I just warmed up in the oven. We're going to slice it long ways. Let's not fucking around here and really get down to business. So I'm gonna cut my hoagie roll. Again, hinge. You gotta leave the hinge, it's very important. Okay? So I'm gonna split that open. See? Nice. Now, I'm gonna come over here. I'm gonna get my beautiful kielbasa right in there. Nice. Okay? I think what I'm also gonna do is I'm gonna give this a little slice down the middle. Just be careful when you're doing this. You don't wanna slice your hands open. Okay? So we can get our onions right down the middle of this thing. Okay, now you're gonna hit it with a little spicy brown mustard right along the side. Why? Why not? Give it a little contrast. Okay, some little mustard. Now we're gonna get our onions, our tongs, lots of that sauce. Look at that, huh? That's a beautiful sandwich. And now let's cut this bad boy. And there you go. See, we're going to dine al fresco tonight. Crack another Yingling, a Zalud. And let's just dive into this thing. Let's start with this side first here. You need a bath towel to eat this, all right? A Zalud. Oop. Oh, wow. You're gonna need to take a shower after you eat this, but let me tell you something. This is fucking lights out. You put these on a hot dog, burger, steak sandwich, kielbasa, bratwurst, whatever you want, your guests are gonna love you. From my kitchen to yours. Happy Labor Day. As always.